Toby. Ooh. It's just like letting her go outside. Like there's so many like things that could bother Toby. It makes me so nervous. But I'm like, I also want her to enjoy life. Like I don't want to just keep her cooped up. Like she has so much fun outside. She loves getting sun. And she loves like sniffing around and laying about. I'm just like, Toby, what if there's spiders? And like having a pet really teaches you like how much time and energy goes into like caring for something full time. I really can't imagine like having a kid right now. It's just so, I don't know. And I think that goes back and forth between why I'm so like, I don't know if like KB and I will have kids one day and whether or not we will. So I'm just leaving it up to like, you know, how we feel. I feel like if we ever feel ready for kids, we'll know and we'll both feel it at the same time. And we'll both make that decision together and be like, yeah, this is something we're ready for. Even if like you just think you're ready for kids, but you're never 100% ready for kids. I know when we're ready for kids. If we have kids, we'll know, you know? So why why stress about it like right now, you know? But I can't help but sometimes think of like my future, what it's gonna look like, or just what I want to like imagine, because I feel like I could bring anything I want to me in my future. It's just like sometimes it feels hard to know exactly what I want, so I don't want to attract the wrong things. But I'm like, I don't think you could ever attract the wrong things, because I feel like if it comes in your head, it's because like you're meant to experience it for whatever reason, like whatever lesson it's gonna teach you. Oh, that's you. You just need to start being more positive instead of always assuming or always like being stressed that the worst thing is going to happen to you, because then the worst thing that could happen to you will happen to you when you're saying it, you know, like you're almost attracting it. I believe there's like a certain balance between, you know, being cautious about things, like not being naive about it, but also using your intuition and not letting your anxiety guide you on like, you know, possibilities for your life. Like Luna's having so much fun right now. Like she's just looking out. And I was like, I was gonna stop that because I was like, what if something bothers you? Something could bother her inside too. Like, you know, can't keep yourselves locked up, guys. Anxiety. Honestly, I really like being a silly, goofy person. I feel like I used to really hate it sometimes because when I had adopted it as like a coping mechanism to survive, like navigating like in unfriendly spaces, meaning just spaces I didn't feel like safe as a kid. But I do feel like it helps me like also just remember we're on a floating rock. Like I don't think it's a bad defense mechanism to have. I don't think you should always be silly, haha, hee hee. Like sometimes there are times where you need to put the humor away and it's time to like be like for real. But overall, I don't think it's a bad thing to like, you know, because one, like I'm just so, I don't know. I like being in my company. I like being around myself, and I like being alone with myself as well. And I feel like there's a lot of people who like don't like that about themselves. Which, not to talk about other people right now. I'm just saying, when I see it happen so much in society, I'm glad that it's like not. Oh, sorry, y'all. I'm really trying to be better with the whole mic thing. Like my wife was like, you should attach it to your shirt because you keep like with your hand. I'm like, oh, you're so right. She's always so right. I love my life. Oh, actually, I had original plans. I was going to read Mr. Loverman. Mr. Loverman. He's a homosexual, very. He's a very sexual. Like, what? I'm like reading the book because KB and I watched the show, like the BBC Mr. Loverman show. That was based off the book written by Bernardine Evaristo that I'm reading right now. And it was so good. There's just something about like, I don't know, reading Caribbean stories or like just stories with the diaspora, but like specifically right now, like the Caribbean era I'm in. And I'm like, it just feels so like familiar, but dang it, sorry guys, sorry. I'm sorry, I'm trying. Because I know that's like, yeah, there's just something about it that's just so like one, comforting, even though most of these stories are always so sad. Like, it's like heartbreaking. Like, it just makes you feel so many emotions. You don't even know what you're primarily feeling reading it or watching it. And that brings me back to my previous point in my last video. Like, Black art is just so, the balance and the nuance is so, and I'm talking about like Black art made for like Black people to read. I'm gonna be completely honest. When it's like Black but like still catered to a white audience, sometimes it teeters the line of like I obviously know that's like how the industry works, and that's what they had to do to kind of like be able to even make that Black art in the first place in some cases. But sometimes it just like really hurts my soul because I'm like, it really could have been like such a banger if it just wasn't like still pandering to white audiences or like non-Black audiences. It just really sucks because I'm like, the amount of, y'all don't understand, when y'all let Black people just exist, the stuff society will get. And I'm not just talking about like Black person as a monolith. I'm talking the queer Black folk, the disabled Black folk, like the neurodivergent Black folk, the Black folk in all of their like varieties and different facets. Like, when everybody is safe and feel safe, they are going to be creating some of the most amazing pieces that we've ever been able to experience. Like, and that's going to be really fucking nice. Like, good art to consume, like so much good art that like everyone can have a different taste, and it's not like, oh no, your taste is actually bad. Like, it's like, no, like, okay, I get why you like that certain type. This one's my preference, but that's also really good art. It's not going to be like people now when they have opinions about like, oh, my favorite author is Hemingway. I haven't read a single piece by Hemingway that I'm like, oh, this is, wow, fantastic. Like, and it's not even just because I can't relate to like the white experience, because I mean, that is part of it, but I just feel like you don't need to have to be able to relate to the art to think it's good art. Like, I can read some like books that I don't understand the experience, like I've never lived that experience, written by like different Black authors, and like obviously the parts that call out to me the most, I'm not gonna cap and say that's not true, but the parts that call out to me the most are like the parts that I can like feel at home in. But that doesn't mean the other parts that I can't relate to, I'm not like, wow, this is still fantastic. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just when something is well done, you don't necessarily have to be able to relate to it to be like, this is really good. I'm just saying. But anywho, back to my original point. We are gonna do a read with me today about this book because the show was so good and it was inspired by the book, so I want to give the book a try to see if I'm like, oh yeah, I really like this, or if, oh wow, this is so different. Like, something I've already noticed, because I did already start this, but I stopped because I've been like, doom scrolling, derogatory. But yeah, I've been like doom scrolling instead of reading lately. And I'm trying to, get back into it, but I'd already started the book, and it already feels like Barry's character is more accepting of the fact that he's gay. Like, he knows he's gay, whereas like I feel like in the show a huge plot line was that like he knew he was like in love with Morris and was like trying to be in denial about that, but like he wouldn't really like verbalize that he would just be like, I'm not really gay, I just like Morris. Like, but we also understand that internalized homophobia, internalized like struggle to be yourself and whatnot. It seems like in the book he like mentions it already, and I'm like only on page 49, so that's pretty soon to be like, is it homosexual? But yeah, so I just wanted it's also cool to read it too, because you get way more insight to how they feel about certain things as the characters. Like, you could assume watching the show the depth that was behind a lot of the inner monologues that we did hear snippets of, but this, it's like so detailed. I feel like that's part of the fun about reading, is you can really paint the image in your head, but if it's a good author, you know, even then, I feel like I could still do it, but it's like, that's my skill now. Like, I'm using my talent to make your work more enjoyable for me. I should just be able to enjoy the work. It's like giving you're on a remote island and you have 6 books with you in total for the rest of your life. One of them is actually genuinely really, really good, and the others are like mid. But you only have one of that really, really good one, so it's not like you can constantly just read that over and over, which you could. You might get bored of it. So then it's like you have to read the other ones, but it's like so much harder to read the other ones. But you're on an island with only these options. There's no other options, so what are you gonna do? That's how I feel. Having to read, like, I feel like I used to feel it a lot more. Lately, I'll be honest. I don't have to read like white stories anymore. Like, I had a gun pointed to my head growing up, where it was like that's all I had around me. Or the black stories I did like have access to, or like were written or available for me, were like all like, I was a slave, and every day I slaved while being slaved. And it's like, yes, those stories are true, but like, can I just read about like, I don't know, a black kid growing up and just doing like backflips on their skateboard and then going to the mall with their friends, and then it's just like the worst thing that happens in their life is a pop quiz? Like, you know, I don't want to always get like, that just feels so heavy all the time. It's real. Those stories shouldn't be ignored, and they should still be like written about and talked about, but I also want variety so that I can go read something lighter that's also like black. And like, you know, I don't even think that's not the black author's fault. That's obviously because white people were dominating the industry and would not allow any other story to be told, or they just wouldn't get published at all. But shout out to all the resilient black authors out there who had to write or tweak their work in ways that they didn't want to, or didn't, you know, even want to like have to read or write themselves, but they had to because that's what they needed to do to survive. So shout out to y'all, and thank y'all for paving the way, because now there's so many more black authors, and so many more black authors being able to write about what they want to write about and not being censored. So, well, as much. So thank y'all. And with all that being said, I'll read you guys the, you know, excerpt about what this book is about, and then I'm gonna start reading. So, Barrington Jedediah Walker is 74 and leads a double life. Born and bred in Antigua, he's lived in Hackney, London for years. A flamboyant, wisecracking character with a dapper taste in retro suits and a fondness for Shakespeare, Barrington is a husband, father, grandfather, and also secretly gay. Lovers with his childhood friend Morris. His deeply religious and disappointed wife, Carmel, thinks he sleeps with other women. When their marriage goes into meltdown, Barrington wants to wants to divorce Carmel and live with Morris, but after a lifetime of fear and deception, will he manage to break away? With an abundance of laugh-out-loud humor and wit, Mr. Loverman explodes cultural myths and shows what can happen when people fear the consequences of being true to themselves. It's just, like, I'm not gonna lie, she ate this. I do wish, like, Barry's character wasn't so, like, there's still, like, parts of him that obviously are kind of, like, steeped in whiteness, but it's, like, not his fault, you know? And it's not even really the author's fault. She could have just been trying to portray, like, a specific person or idea of a person she had, you know? And I do think people like him exist, especially from the era. Hi, Toby. You coming back? Living life. What was I saying? Well, alright, anyways, I'll just be having thoughts. Okay, so yeah, oh yeah, I just wish he wasn't as, you know, rooted in whiteness, like a lot of his ideals and views and stuff like that, but I don't really expect anything less from, like, a, you know, how old is he, like 72? 74 years old, black man. from the Caribbean, like, place. Yeah. You guys go ahead and get your books too. Oh my gosh. Oh, Narnia and for Aslan. Like, why did I love that movie down as a kid? For real. Because as an adult, I could barely get through it. But as a kid, I was like, oh. I'm like, it's like all things that I think about when I think of the Caribbean, but it's just like sometimes reading it, I'm like, you know how people always talk about like, oh, anyway, um, I'm just seeing like way too many white people move in here. I'm like, it was never no one like this before. Oh, I scared my cat. Sorry, Toby. Sorry. You know how I get with that, you know. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know, because right now in the book, right, I'm at the part where, if you've read it, you know. If you watch the show, you also know. But I'm at the part where, and this is gonna be a spoiler, by the way. So if you don't want this, maybe skip this section. But Carmel brings home her friends from church after church, and like, in this we're reading like an inner monologue by Barry, because he had just talked to Morris about, you know, finally being like, I'm leaving Carmel, I'm not gonna stay with her no more, let's be together finally, you know. And it's just like the sadness of like, oh, like he felt like he had to wait until he was 74 to finally start living his truth, because Morris is at the point of like, one, you're not even gonna keep jerking me around and like making me believe you're actually gonna do this, because I've already been hanging on by a thread for so long. But it's like, at the same time too, he's like, you waited till we're like literally almost like we're closer to death than like, you know, if we want to think of, you know, just the statistics of how long people live, and now you want to like live our truth when we could have been doing this whole time. It's just like, oh, that's what breaks my heart when I think about like internalized homophobia and like people who are like really deep in the closet and like hating others, because it's just like, I found my soulmate when I was 20 years old, and because we continue to grow with each other and like grow individually, we're gonna be together, like, you know, obviously as long as like we're blessed to. And like, I really feel like it could be like we just grow old together and like we have 70 something years of being together, like 70 years with your best friend, like you're the love of your life, and instead y'all are choosing to spend like, I don't know, 50 with someone you really fucking hate because you feel obligated to, and then maybe like, you know, you end up running into someone that you end up being with, and it's like still the happiest, like, you know, 10 years of your life, let's say, by the time you meet them, get married, and you guys are together. Just like, imagine if you could have lived that, like, all those 50 years. Like, it's just genuinely, I don't know, I just feel like for me, it's never too late to change and make a decision that actually makes your life happier. Because if everyone does it, there's going to be no one left to oppress about it, and then society won't treat you like badly about it anymore. You don't have to be like afraid necessarily. Like, if everyone does it, everyone just works on themselves to heal the traumas of feeling like they couldn't before. Utopia, boom, we just turned into Atlantis. Like, I don't know. Because it's also just like, it caused so much more suffering and like pain if you think about it. Because now he's talking about how his wife's friends from church, they've all known each other their whole lives, which I didn't realize that in the show. And he's basically explaining how they all like kind of grew in the neighborhoods together. So like how they're like, what their parents kind of like, the trauma they went through with their parents. And when you think of that, it's like, it makes complete sense why your parents did why they did, what you like, why you live your life the way you do. But then how you also then see the effects of like, even though, you know, we can recognize why your mom may have done this to you while growing up, right? It's like that trauma still is in you until like you do something about it. Because he's talking about Drusilla, one of, you know, Carmel's friends, and her mom and dad. And her dad had 17 children by 5 women. And then Barry says he must have felt like a real man, only way he could. I feel like that holds so much depth for me reading it. It's giving, you know, one, all of those men who like the only thing you feel like makes you a real man is the fact that you can like procreate. So like you go out and you just do it as much as you possibly can, like house hunt, but house hunt basically, or house hop from like place to place with woman to woman, creating as many kids, because it's just like you're just trying to prove something to other people or like to yourself, but like whatever you're trying to prove is not actually like proving it. Like, you know how many kids are now growing up without like, you know, you around or your guidance or your help, which like, you know, in some cases y'all don't even work on yourself, so it's not like your guidance and help is really helpful, but you're just depriving so many people of that connection with you just because like you're trying to run from something. And it's like, I know it doesn't make you feel any better, because then you have more financial obligation, you have more emotional obligation, like it spreads you thinner and thinner and thinner. And because there's only one of you, it's not like you are gonna you're not gonna be able to like fix the situation in any way. Like no matter what you do, you've created a really shitty situation for like a lot of people involved, and a lot more work for like society as a whole, just because you're running from your emotions. It's never too late to stop though. Like you can stop and try to like, you know, take your repercussions with stride, you know? I feel like that's what life's truly about, is like, okay, you make a mistake, but then what are you learning from it, and are you gonna do it again? And when you don't work on the trauma, you just keep repeating it again and again, so then you're like, why does my life suck? Oh, it's because I'm not doing this, or I'm not praying hard enough to God, or I'm not this or that, or I'm not manifesting right. It's like, no, you're not seeing the lessons and making the change that needs to be changed. I'm not like just like preaching to people right now. Like I also internalize these things and have to like work through them, and it's hard. It's so much easier to repeat cycles that you're used to, because then it doesn't go against the grain, even though it doesn't feel good or doesn't feel like the best. It's like, it's so comforting to almost know what's gonna happen next. And it's like, you know, the wind just kicked up and it's scared to be inside. It was kind of funny though. I'm sorry. The way it happened, I mean, because she was just like, now rise up. You okay, Booba? Oh, she's scratching. Oh, my baby. I'm gonna go check on the kitty. Anyways, yeah. Hope y'all got something from that. I don't remember what I was talking about, but I'm probably gonna still go read this. And you should too. Like, read something, find something to read. If you need some suggestions, I did post a video earlier, like, you know, in my YouTube channel history, with some recs that I like and what they're about. If you want to start there, you can. Oh, she came back. You are so brave and so strong, Toby. They can't hold you back. I don't want lunch. I think I'm gonna make lunch. Yeah, because I don't have lunch. So if I don't make lunch, I'm not gonna have lunch. And I don't want to wait too long to have lunch. I'm gonna go have a snack too. You see? Lessons, that's what I was talking about. Because me in the past, I would have just let myself starve. But now I recognize, like, my capacity is gonna be lower. I'm not gonna be able to, like, function as good or as well without the food. I'm not gonna be my best self, and then I'm just gonna get really tired early and then not really get anything done. And not like you have to always get something done, but I do want to be productive so I don't like make more work for myself in the future. And then I'm always in a balance of working and playing. It's never too much of one or the other needed at one time. Okay. I don't know what that was. Anyways, bye guys. I'm gonna have lunch. Have a good rest of your day.